Hello, I welcome you once again to Ezedigwe English Language Class. Always remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel on Ezedigwe English Language Class. Today we want to talk about something that is very vital, very important, a topic as far as English language is concerned. Now, this is a topic that is very peculiar to WAEC students, NECO students, GCE students, and then all the possible external examinations. We are looking at grammatical names and functions. Now, this topic before us, grammatical names and functions, you may hardly see such a topic established on any textbook or in any textbook, or maybe expecting a teacher of English language to come into the class and talk about grammatical names and function. You might find it difficult. But then, it is a topic that is very indispensable. You cannot do without it as far as external examination is concerned. NECO, WAEC, GCE, or even JAMB examinations, like I said. Now, when we talk about grammatical names and functions, what are the areas of English language topics where you will be expecting questions to come up under this? Now, we look at comprehension passages. I wouldn't know if you've noticed that in comprehension passages, there are aspects of the questions under comprehension that will always tell you or ask you questions on grammatical names. And these are situations where you see a kind of expression extracted from the passage. That is a kind of group of words. Normally, they will underline it, and questions will come up thus: what is the grammatical name of the above expression as used in the passage? Another thing is, what is the function? And I've always discovered that students always find it very difficult. You'll notice something that questions under this normally throw someone off balance. Comprehension passages, when you read, actually, you can always attempt questions in as much as you are able to digest the contents of the passage. But in the areas of grammatical names, this is actually the area that when you don't know it, you don't know it. And when a particular expression is extracted from the passage and you are expected to talk about its grammatical name, you notice that many people fall prey in the hands of failure, especially the exam candidates. So that's why we want to look at this aspect of English language. Now, normally in WAEC level, or NECO level, or GCE level, if we talk about grammatical names, we are making reference to the following itemized names on the board. Number one, we talk about the noun phrase. We talk about the noun clause. And then we talk about the adjectival phrase. We equally have adjectival clause or relative clause. We have the adverbial phrase and we have the adverbial clause. Because of time, actually, we may not unleash every content in the whole names. I will limit my teaching for today, and I will have to talk about noun phrase. I may also talk about the noun clause so that we understand. It will give us a kind of preview of what you should know about this. Then in our subsequent videos, we shall be gradually treating all these other aspects of grammatical names. We begin with the noun phrase. When we say noun phrase, what are we expected to understand here? Noun phrase. Now, permit me to tell you that anything noun in English language has to do with name. When we say noun phrase or noun, we are making reference to names. Each time you hear the word noun, noun simply means name. It could be name of anything, name of person, name of animal, name of place, name of things, name of ideas, concepts, name of actions, names of days of the week, names of the months of the year. Every name you can imagine and think of is talking about noun. So when we say noun, we are making reference to names. But then we should look at phrase as well. When we say phrase, phrases are actually group of words. And group of words involve something that has to go beyond a single word. We have the word Obi, for instance. Obi is a name. You cannot call this a noun phrase because it is a single word. So it is a noun. But when we talk about noun phrase, we are talking about group of words which serves the purpose of a name. Example, the intelligent boy. The intelligent boy. Now, this is a very good example of a noun phrase. We can also say our English teacher. This is another example of a noun phrase. Why do we call this a noun phrase? Number one, it involves group of words. We have 1, 2, 3. It can also go beyond 3 number of words existing actually, but because of the structural arrangement of this, we notice that we have 3 words that came together and formed a group, and we call it noun phrase. Not just because they are 3 words, they are serving as a name. When we say our English teacher or the intelligent boy, it is a name you can use to address someone. So, not only that, we also have a situation here, which is the fact that we don't have verb. Phrases do not admit verbs. We see these in English language, we have it as determiner. That is a definite article. It belongs to the group of the adjectives. So this is a determiner, definite article. It is an adjective. And then this is another adjective. Adjective also. Then this is the head word. And the head word here is a noun. Now, when we look at the group, what have we noticed? We notice that we have adjective, adjective, and noun. Now we blended them together to produce what we call noun phrase. We can use that in a sentence. This is also an adjective, for example, in our English teacher. We have this as what? As an adjective. We call this possessive adjective. Possessive adjective. That is where it belongs. And this is also an adjective. English teacher. Describing, this is an adjective also. And this is a noun. This is the head word, of course. Our English teacher. All these are adjectives describing the teacher, which is the head word. So when we talk about noun phrase, it involves a group of words which will never admit a verb, but must be functioning as a noun in a sentence. Like I told you, nouns are names. Whether noun phrase or noun as a single word, they are names. They serve the purpose of name. Now let me establish a sentence where you will understand better what I have just said. For instance, when we say the intelligent boy came around. The intelligent boy came around. And then we underline this. Now we have the intelligent boy came around. What do we notice here? We are talking about somebody that came around. And the person is, by name, the intelligent boy. Of course, the intelligent boy will have his own natural name. But probably, for some reasons, I may not know his name, his original name given to him by his parents or whatever, and I will choose to address him with the name or the expression, the intelligent boy. When I do that, I've used that to address him to be his name. So that's what we are talking about. The intelligent boy is serving a purpose of name to the boy that came around, and we've underlined it. Like I said, they don't admit verb. Now, for us to understand that this is a name, I need to tell you something. We should also learn to know that names can be replaced. How do we do that? We can replace a name with a pronoun. That is, whereby we don't want to do what? Produce the name. We can choose to replace the name with a pronoun. For example, if I say the intelligent boy came around, and in my next expression, I choose not to mention the name, I can also say someone came around. And then I underline someone. I can also say he came around. Then I underline he. So what do we notice here? This is a pronoun. What is a pronoun? As one of the word classes, a pronoun is a word that replaces a noun. Pronouns are words that take the place of nouns in sentences. So, someone is an example of a pronoun. He is also an example of a pronoun. That is whereby I have chosen not to mention the name intelligent boy or the intelligent boy. That is why I have decided to use either someone, which is a pronoun, or he, which is also a pronoun. He came here. Someone came around. So what are we saying? By extension, I want to tell you that this is a noun phrase, which is a name. And it is possible to ascertain that because any name can be replaced with a pronoun, which we have done. Of course, if this is not a name, if it is not a noun phrase, the possibility of replacing it with a pronoun will be far-fetched. So, in exam situations, for instance, you can see, like I said, we experience questions under grammatical names and functions in comprehension passages during the challenges of examinations. Now, if for instance we have this established in a passage as part of the comprehension passage, and then the examination body chooses to underline this, normally in the question sections, they will ask you from this passage above, the underlined expression, give the grammatical name, or what is the grammatical name that can be given to the above underlined expression, which is the intelligent boy. In that case, your answer should be a noun phrase. A noun phrase, why? Because it is a group of words which has its head word to be a boy, which is a noun. Not only that, the group of words does not admit any form of verb in it. Phrases don't admit verbs. And not only that, the possibility of replacing this with a pronoun is not far-fetched. We can choose to do that. We can choose to replace this with a pronoun. That's why it is very easy to understand and believe that this is functioning as a name. Therefore, it cannot be a noun as a single word, but what? A noun phrase. Now, the next one is the noun clause. The noun clause. In the case of the noun clause, clauses and phrases, they have something that is distinguishing the both. And that is the fact that phrases do not admit verbs at all, but clauses, they do. Although for the clauses, they are divided into main clause and subordinate clause. But for the clauses, whether main or subordinate, normally they don't admit verbs. The main clauses do not admit verbs. The subordinate clauses do not admit verbs. How do we look at noun clause? What do we have to say about it? Like I said, each time you hear the word noun, it involves name. And in this context, we are talking about noun clause. The noun clause is also a name. When we hear noun clause, it is also a name. But in this name, it must also involve group of words, just like we did in the phrases. Noun clauses involve group of words which must have the presence of a finite verb, and the head word must be a noun which must be also functioning as a name in the sentence, in the particular sentence where it exists. Example, the boy that gave me attention has gone. Look at this. The boy that gave me attention. And we have to underline the boy that gave me attention. Now, this is the noun clause established here, underlined like you can see. Now, this is the verb, of course. It is not included. And then this is also the verb. This should be the main verb, and this is the helping verb. They are part of the sentences that came to join with the noun clause to bring completeness to the whole sentence. Now, we are not talking about these two. We are actually talking about the underlined expression. And we say that the underlined expression here is a noun clause. Why is it a noun clause? It is a noun clause because if we analyze the expressions, we have determiner, which is a definite article. We have boy, which is a noun. And then we have this, which is a relative pronoun. We have gave, which is a verb. This is a pronoun. This is a noun. This is an adjective because the determiners, they belong to the group of the adjectives. And then this is also a pronoun, and this is attention, which is a noun, name of a concept. Now, when we look at this analysis, we discover that we have adjective, we have noun, we have pronoun, and then we have verb, unlike what we witnessed in noun phrases. We have verb here, which is the most important thing, and which is one unique thing about the clauses. Clauses must possess the presence of the verb. This is a pronoun and this is a noun. So we conclude, therefore, that the boy that gave me attention is a noun clause. It is a noun clause because of the presence of the verbs. The clauses must admit verbs, whether dependent or independent clauses. We should also have to understand something, of course, like we did in the phrases. In the clauses, for us to ascertain for certainty that this is a noun clause, number one, the presence of the verb will give us that assurance. Then apart from that, we can also choose to replace this with a pronoun by saying someone has gone. Or better still, you can say he has gone. Now, for this possibility to be in place, that means someone replacing the entirety of this as an expression, it is possible because it is a pronoun replacing a name, and this is also a pronoun replacing a name. Because of that possibility, we now know that this is a noun clause. Like I said, it is a noun clause because of the presence of the verbs. I want to draw the curtain for today here. I urge you to subscribe always on our YouTube channel on Ezedigwe English Language Class. Don't fail to do so. It will always give you notification whenever we have a new video. Thank you very much.